So yeah, I guess
my personal opinion. I personally just it doesn't mean it's the. I like Ryan's version better, but that's just me being like nostalgic, like its connection to like the original.
Because you were alive in World War II.
I have a master's degree in history.
Oh,
drop it. History.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast delivering a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 Transformers movie. This is your episode 15, covering minutes 14 to 15, baby! This is your host, Aaron, and I'm here with my enchanting and entertaining co-hosts.
I was waiting for it.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Caleb. I'm like really like. I really look
Now
forward to
anticipating it.
Yeah, like what's he gonna say?
I can't believe it's taken you 14 episodes to pick up
realize
on
he
this
does
little
this.
riff.
I know, but you know.
So, okay, last episode recap. We learned that transforming Autobot City is a very tricky procedure.
It's and just long. Like there's a lot of steps involved.
Literal steps. You have to step all the way across the city to get it done.
And you get trapped in a gulf that's opening beneath your feet.
I remain just as confused as ever about the whole Autobot man and firepower as compared to the Decepticons, but...
I would think the Decepticons would not stand a chance in this assault.
This seemed like very poorly planned, but as you know, spoiler alert, it turns out okay for them, I guess. Well, not really,
twice.
but whatever.
I'd call it a rout.
But as we left it, the city is transformed, and Megatron has ordered the Insecticons to create a way in because his fusion cannon is not strong enough to blow a hole in anything. So right at the top of the minute here, we've got the Insecticons flying in as per Megatron's orders.
Specifically, which two Insecticons are these?
So here we have Kickback as the sort of locust, grasshoppery character, and Shrapnel as the what are those?
A
like
beetle,
stag, it's
like
not
a stag beetle or
where's-
rhino beetle.
Where's
Or-
my favorite Insecticon?
Bombshell. I don't
Yeah,
know. They kind of
there's no
forgot about
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Did we ever see Bombshell in
that?
the movie?
I don't remember. I don't
There's
recall.
no, he's not in the movie.
Maybe
Wait,
he
no,
might
he
be
is in the movie.
yeah.
He is.
Hold
I
on,
can't
maybe.
remember.
All right, we'll
But
find
I think he's in the.
We'll find out.
I think he might be converted into another character.
I think he is. Yes, I know for a fact. Actually, he is. He's in. He's just not pictured, but does get fucked up during the siege because he's in Astrotrain.
So he becomes.
He becomes, I think, Cyclonus.
Oh wow.
Let's
That's
put a
cool.
pin in that because there is so much debate among who becomes what in this movie. And we've got probably about 10 minutes before we get there. But anyway, so these guys fly up. I think obviously great animation on the fly-in part. And I think also, pretty cool. They're eating it up here. They're trying to munch on the metal door.
A little heavy on the electrons.
Pretty good again,
Thank
Ryan.
you.
Once again, your vocal talents go unappreciated.
That right there at minute 14, 15 seconds where the bridge starts to retract and Kickback gets caught on it. I think that is a really great animation. It's very insectile.
That's what I wrote too. That's
It's very indicative of what that insect would actually.
Yes,
the way he
do.
kind of sticks to the bridge and great work. I mean, obviously they probably did some studies of grasshopper motion and stuff to kind of get that down. But so this bridge is retracting, and go ahead.
I will say earlier that just in the original script that I have, whenever Shrapnel and Kickback go and start eating the door, Shrapnel says, "Penetrate, we shall penetrate," and then Kickback says, "Penetrate." And there are 10 M's and I'm like, oh.
On the script.
Yes.
I'm like,
Very nice.
Friedman, This is you're inserting some of your
Inserting.
Oh, it turned back on me.
Oh, boy.
Around 1416 or so, Hot Rod and Cup are emerging from the horizon, the mountainous horizon here, and they have conflicting opinions on about this Insecticon
They're
obstruction.
in our way.
No, they're our way in.
So I don't understand that dialogue very much, but so I don't know. So Hot Rod is going to ramp off of Kickback and knock him a little bit off the platform, and he still stays stuck to the bridge. He climbs back up, and then Cup is very close behind him, and only as he gets up there, Cup crushes his head as he too jumps the chasm and
does he die
lands neatly
then?
in the city.
No, and this is the part where I'm like, as I get older, it seems like my emotions get closer to the surface. Like whenever Cup runs over Kickback's head, I feel sorry for Kickback. I'm like,
It looks pretty brutal.
it's pretty bad. And so, like, by age 50, I can just imagine I'm just going to be a quivering mass of, like, emotional jelly where I'm like, I can't even encounter the world. Like, he's fun. And again, he's mimicking. It doesn't mean that's his head. Like, it doesn't mean that's
But
where
it
the
is his head literally in
It
transformation.
yes, but that's not necessarily where his CPU is located. Ideally, I would think you put that in the innermost part of your abdomen. But watching it now, I'm like, oh, I feel just sorry for it. I think it also, I feel sorrier because he is in the form of an animal.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't even watch animated violence against animals without sobbing uncontrollably. Anyway,
Ryan,
so I brought it down.
He's such a cynical, vile person, but when
Yeah,
it comes to certain things,
Well,
it's a confluence. Hey, I'm complex.
So I just want to talk for a second and a half about the in our way thing again, because
that's it.
damn, you're right. You're right. Fuck, you're right. But so I still don't understand because the
I don't understand why you're still talking because the second and a half is over with.
Caleb is not allowed to have any more drinks.
He's in rare form.
I'm sorry. I'm done. All right, please continue.
Earlier you said that you will speak to us in ways via email or text that you would never speak to us in real life. Ladies and gentlemen, Caleb can be, I think, a hilarious dick via text. But he's a very nice guy in real life.
I am.
But now here he is, proving his earlier statements wrong. You were a dick in real life.
Only when I'm drinking at 10:30 in the morning.
Well, it's 11 right now.
Oh yeah, it's 11. Thank God.
So anyway,
Sorry guys.
No,
Please.
it's
all good. It's all good. So I checked the script, and it does state that Hot Rod uses Kickback like a stunt driver's ramp.
Yes. But
it
not really
still
in the
doesn't
movie.
really make.
It's
Like, it
not
would
a
make
very-
more.
It's
what
not
makes-
a very. I don't think his head would make a very good ramp.
No, and not at all. And the animation proves that out as that. Like all he really does is knock him out of the way.
Hot Rod, yes. Cups makes sense. Hot Rod's
a little
doesn't
bit.
really.
I would still think it's a bump that would only impede your progress. But
I mean, yeah.
I wish there was a way. It's forgivable, but it annoys me.
Man, that is graphic.
Yeah, it's gross.
Running over his head, man. It smashes
gross.
the shit out of it.
Now, to me, it would make more sense if they're saying no, they're ROAN because they'd still be trapped outside the city if it weren't for them eating this hole into the.
You know what I like about the Autobots were very forward thinking in that they have a backup.
A secondary door. Yeah.
So it is, as to Caleb's point, it's very convenient. There happened to be another closing security door on the other side of the door. And one question I have is that it looks like Cup and Hot Rod foiled the plan, but in actuality, the plan was working pretty good. Why wouldn't Megatron just say, Insecticons, do that some more?
Well, because they can now, because they fucked him up.
But there's plenty of Insecticons.
Not in this
I would
movie.
think. All right, well. Okay, so at 1433, we're at an awesome overhead shot of the city, and it's tough to make out everybody. But
I think we might have the same point.
But we can go through the roster. But I think Ryan, I'll let you. Are you trying to get at this?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can talk to that though.
Okay. Well, all right. So we're kind of trying to pause in slow mo as quickly
It's
as
still
possible.
1432. Yeah.
But at 1432 and really at still at 1432, a strange character is flying up from the city who looks a little or a lot like a character who's been murdered earlier in the movie, and that's Ironhide flying up in the upper right hand corner for whatever reason. I guess he's got a jetpack on.
No. I know who this is supposed to be.
Okay, go on.
It's supposed to be Reflector,
Oh, is it really?
but it's colored like Ironhide, even though we never see Reflector ever.
Wow. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense because when you mention that, I can see like sort of the backpack, but yeah, the gray shoulders and the gray totally looks like Ironhide.
Yep.
The resolution's not excellent, so but fair enough. I'll go with
If
that.
you can go just a little bit.
Are you are you talking about another friend of
think
ours
you
who's
might.
on another planet?
I want Caleb to look at who's flying into screen.
My man, Shockwave flying in.
Shockwave makes an appearance, still at 1432. What?
So, in theory,
What?
this could have happened. Like, maybe he flew down here and then went back to Cybertron later because he's on Cybertron when it gets attacked
That's right. Do
you
by Unicron.
I got it.
Okay.
He is aware of the impending attack on Autobot City. He's lonely. He wants to get involved in the action. And so he flies on his own accord.
Oh, or
and
what if he
joins
uses a
By
space,
himself in
space bridge?
Oh, that's true.
the space
Why
bridge.
don't they use
Why
the
didn't
space
they just
bridge?
use the space bridge to begin with? Maybe it was destroyed at a certain point. I don't know.
But regardless, I think he felt left out and he decided to jump in on the action. He's flying around, but
Do your I like
never
your
see him again?
Shockwave voice. Do it where he's like he wants to tag along.
I can't remember my Shockwave voice. Hey guys, do you mind if I come along with you? I hear there's
No.
a great war going on Earth.
I need you to stay
At this point,
on
he's just,
Cybertron because you have to stand in front of this monitor forever and just.
these are horrible.
Now I've gone.
At this point, though, it's just like he's just joining in on the fight.
Just joining in on the fight.
Basically, he's like, here I am.
Here I am.
Rock you like a hurricane. So anyway,
I think
that's
it's
More
just
like
a-
a typhoon. Really.
I think it's just a fuck up. Where they're
Yeah,
like
it
they're
is.
just adding characters.
They're throwing in characters and they're throwing in poor.
So if
Shockwave.
you were to go through the
So
full
there he
stop
is.
motion thing, Decepticon, you'd see Soundwave, Ramjet, Blitzwing, Thrust, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Rumble, or Frenzy, depending on your sensibilities. A little weird that Shockwave is in there.
do we ever see him again?
No.
You do see Shockwave one more time.
Yes, but he's on Cybertron. At
On
the end.
Cybertron, not on Earth. I don't remember if Shockwave ever is on Earth, other than there
He's
is some
not.
animation errors where he is on Earth, but they're just fuck ups. So
Yeah.
I don't know if, from a story perspective, he ever comes to Earth.
Okay, so at this point, I have a huge.
That's a great. Sorry, I love where that jet flies by at 1435. I think it's Thundercracker.
There's
That's awesome.
Shockwave again
Yep.
flying back up.
No,
Oh, no,
that's
that's
not Frenzy.
Frenzy
That's
or
Rumble or
Rumble.
Frenzy, but colored like in a weird way. So, okay, before we get to what you've just frozen on, there's a huge deviation in the script
Deviations.
at this point, where it actually is the point where Hot Rod and Cup go into Autobot City. After they do that, they go into a room where we see Wheeljack and Ultra Magnus and some other gangs of monitors, and it is revealed by Wheeljack that the Constructicons are attacking the city walls in the vicinity of the Robo Zoo Lab.
What's the Robo Zoo Lab?
Oh, well, it appears to be, and then Ultra Magnus says, release the Anibots. Then you get cut to the Constructicons, and they're attacking a portion of the city that, and behind them, a door comes up, and like these Autobots come out. That tell me if these remind you of anyone. The Anibots, Simba is a lion, Pardu is a leopard, Shriek is an eagle, Thump is a buffalo, and Clump is a rhino.
Wow. So originally the Predacons were designed to be Autobots.
Anibots. Yes.
And they
But-
decided to make them Decepticons
This sounds
at some
very
point down the line.
This sounds along the storyline of Scramble City too. Like,
Yeah.
This sounds like a.
But it also brings up the point of, are they slaves? Like they're in an Anazoo. Like they're contained. And trapped because they're too aggressive and dangerous. And that just leads me to believe, oh, Wheeljack made these guys because.
They're another crazy
Yes!
Wheeljack
Yes!
invention.
I'm like, this bot must be stopped. He has made the Dinobots with tiny brains, and they're too aggressive. They banished them twice in the cartoon. And then he's made these slave Anibots that are in cages, only released whenever times are dire. Stop letting him create sentient beings.
Well,
This
and
is
obviously
horrible.
those Anibots ultimately become Decepticons, and so
Yeah, and so just to be clear, the Predacons, the Anibots turn into Dragon Beast. which does have...
That's their combiner?
That's their combiner form.
Okay.
Which you can find if you Google image it. There is a... what's his name? The artist who... Oh, Floro Dairy. I don't know if that's pronounced correct. But he does have a design out there of what it would have looked like. But
it's different from the current Predaking?
Oh, it's a dragon.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting because no combiners turn into anything but a robot.
Right.
But yeah, the Predacons to say that their components. The only Razor Claw is the lion, Rampage is the leopard, Dive Bomb is the eagle, and Tantrum is the bull, and Headstrong is the rhino. And so they removed the buffalo and turned it into a bull. Why? Guess what, motherfuckers? There's no such thing as a buffalo in America. I'm fighting a losing battle with this. Buffaloes only exist in Africa. It's a bison. I know.
Thanks for clearing that up, because that is an ongoing source of stress for me as well in casual conversations.
Yeah, it comes up all the time, right?
It's almost as bad as like calling a chimp a monkey.
I hate that too. That's another pet peeve. Another one is whenever you interchange poison and venom. Poison is ingested, venom is injected.
Or it's like calling...
There are no such thing as poisonous snakes. You know what, Wheeljack, he just... I'm glad he's dead.
You said it. You believe it.
I like the Dinobots.
So while we're talking about this script deviation, I was going to save it for the end, but this is completely related. So the version of the script that I have around that moment, doesn't mention the horrific skull crunching that Cup delivers to Shrapnel. Rather, they both ramp in, the kickback. Rather, he ramps into the city, and both Shrapnel and Kickback are still kind of close to that door, and they both make an attempt to bite Cup as he drives into the thing, and they miss right as the door closes. And it says in the script that so instead of biting on Cup, they chomp down on that door, and they chomp down so hard it breaks their teeth. What? That's what it says.
Because they have teeth now?
They have teeth now. And also, additionally, once inside the city, there's a confrontation with Ultra Magnus, between Hot Rod and Ultra Magnus, where Ultra Magnus says to Hot Rod, "You can explain your security violations later, Hot Rod. Now man your battle station." And then Hot Rod gets all uppity and is like, "I don't have to explain my so-called violation to you or anyone." And Cup is like, "Later, Hot Rod."
Oh, he's like, "All right, Dad."
So there's that part to that scene as well. So now we are...
Also, though, like, 100% you do have to explain it, because you're in a fucking army.
He's your boss.
Exactly.
But they're also a family.
That's right.
So we're at about 1436, and this is where we see kind of a control tower, cannon-equipped communications tower, taking shots at a Constructicon that I believe is maybe Scrapper. But this is the part where we're introduced, not for the first time, but in this movie for the first time, to Blaster.
Oh,
yeah.
And so the
grooviest of Autobots.
He's pretty cool.
He's cool as... You know what? That button sequence over there on the panel, that looks like a keyboard. Like a piano keyboard.
What second are you talking about?
Over there on the far left.
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, on the far left at 39 seconds in.
It's not exact, but they...
Like a MIDI board?
It looks homaged,
it's
for
like
sure.
It's Blaster is controlling everything using an 808.
I'm sure that means something to someone else.
Yep.
808?
It means something to me.
Popular drum machine.
Yeah.
From the 80s and whatnot.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Nothing.
Very prevalent in hip-hop culture.
Nothing grooves like an 808.
Money making, super disco breaking. That's staying in.
I definitely 100%. Yeah.
All right, so this is another one of these. This whole sequence really is one of these examples of that background animation being part of the action and how much energy went into like this whole part where he swings, which by the way, very Michael Bay-ian sequence. Again, swings around in
the same way that whenever
I
Ultra Magnus.
I wouldn't call that Michael Bay. I would call that this, and that Michael Bay ripped
perhaps.
it off.
But that's his thing. I mean, in the same way that when Ultra Magnus stands up and it swings around, that's
cool. It's
maybe
a cool shot.
What if he watched this movie as a kid and stole all the camera angles and then was like, "I'm gonna fuck this movie up for everybody."
I think we established 2 episodes ago that he did not watch this movie.
That's right.
He was at a watch party
Where I accused
and it
him
was
of
on in the
things.
background, and instead of watching the movie, he was sexually harassing
right.
women.
He fingered some
God damn it! God damn it, Ryan.
And here's what we're doing for ourselves. We're just creating more and more uncomfortable
characters.
text situations where we're like, we're taking that out. We're taking that out. No,
right.
we're not. Here's why we're not. But come on, guys.
Email chains. I'm doing a character
I know, but you know,
who's not a
this-
real. It's not a real.
I'm
He's Michael Bay.
okay.
The
fine.
character of Michael Bay.
Stop it.
Blaster is having a great time
Yeah,
here.
he's enjoying the
He
shit
is
out of himself.
fucking
Yeah.
partying up in this control tower. And there's great lighting effects with the explosions in the background.
Perceptor comes up through a little hole.
Like a porthole, yeah, at the bottom.
Perceptor pops up through a manhole. He lets Blaster know, hey, shit's fucked up out here. We got to get in touch with Optimus Prime for some reinforcements, which is still only his opinion at this point, but Ultra Magnus gave him the order to tell
True. Yes,
to
Ultra
tell
Magnus
Blaster.
ordered him to go get it. Yeah.
But at any rate, so as I started to mention in the previous episode, love Blaster. He was my favorite toy as a kid. I loved his alt mode, loved the transformation. In the comics, the Marvel comics, he was an awesome character as well. A different personality. He went like in this show, he's kind of like a generic cool guy.
Yeah.
But in the comics, he was a lot more complex. He, I don't know if those who read the Marvel comics, he had like there was a whole sequence where Grimlock became the leader of the Autobots, and he was kind of tyrannical and not really well equipped to be the leader at all. And Blaster and Goldbug, aka Bumblebee, left the Autobots, and they were considered traitors. And Grimlock
We can't
was
really
trying to hunt
relate
them
with
down.
that these days, can we?
Well, political. In the comics, Grimlock is not a dullard, though. He actually, I mean, he speaks.
He's
as
not
well.
as dumb as he is on the cartoon.
Yeah, he's
for sure.
just reactionary, and wow, it really is an allegory.
Wow, this is crazy. So Blaster hits some more. Hits some more buttons. I don't know if he's like
This button
entering a password.
It's
but
awesome.
I love the sequence where he's like boop 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 bop bop bop,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and it's coming
Cover
up.
your receptors, Perceptor.
And those buttons look awesome.
Yeah, the
and this is
button
another
animation's
again
cool.
the background animating with
Yeah,
the
it
foreground.
flies around, yeah.
So cool.
It's so dynamic and cool.
Transforms into his radio, presumably to begin his transmission. So much fucking awesome animation in this sequence.
And again, points out the fact that to transmit, you have to be connected to something, and you have to be in your alt mode.
He connects to this chair like Soundwave connects to
yes.
that device on the Decepticon on Cybertron.
So also similar to our discussion of Perceptor, once again though we have a misappropriation of the use of the alt mode because Blaster is doing the very opposite of what a boombox does, which is to receive things and play them back, not to transmit things. So
He transmits funky beats. What are you talking about?
okay, I stand corrected.
I would love it if like Perceptor threw down a cardboard box and started like spinning on his head.
Nothing's better than the classic Autobot Transformers episode where a Blaster and Soundwave face off in like a disco.
Yep.
In a disco.
It's what the fans were asking for.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
So you guys haven't seen any of the Headmasters series, which takes off after the G1 cartoon series?
I've seen all of them.
Okay, I know he's lying. Here we go.
I may have, but it's been a while.
Well,
if I did.
there is another Soundwave Blaster battle early on in that series. And
don't they? I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Don't they kill each other?
Yeah, they both die. They kill each other.
From
And it's actually a pretty brutal battle.
From dancing so
No,
long?
no.
It's a
They're
straight up
beating the
battle.
fuck out of each other.
That shouldn't work. They should like have a breakdance competition.
But it's like
But that wouldn't kill you.
it's weird because Blaster dies, but then Soundwave, in a very Megatron, well, not even Megatron Galvatron way, later on comes back as Blaster 2. Soundwave 2.
Well,
Soundwave 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That's right.
So technically, they both come back. Yeah, Soundwave comes back as Sound Blaster. The only difference is that he's black instead of blue. And Blaster comes back as, I'm blanking out, I want to say Transistor. God dang it, I can't quite remember.
He comes back
and
as-
he's blue
He
instead
comes
of
back-
red.
He comes back as MPEG player. He's just a little flash drive. He comes back as Flash Drive.
That's a good name.
So
that brings us to the end of this minute.
well, I have one more thing about the blaster.
Okay.
So in the turret, in my script, he's described as reporting like a top 40s DJ. Casey Kasem. So there's a lot of extra. I think that Ron Friedman really liked
You've got the
Blaster.
script printed out and
I do have it
everything,
printed
dude.
out.
And it's like blue. It's like, did you print this
I
out?
printed it out in draft.
Were you
form.
out of black
No,
ink?
it looks
Were
like
you
you-
out of the K
You
on
know what it
your
looks like? It looks like
inkjet?
it looks like you took it to like the local public school and printed it on the
on a mimeograph?
on a mimeograph.
It's all purple.
I wish there were those like
That's awesome.
perforated like sides to it, you know, and it was. In
Oh,
that,
it's like the I can't remember the name of that. What is
those
anyway?
old school printers.
Okay, so as Blaster speaks, we see Decepticons firing at windows of Crow's Nest. Okay, so I'm going to read this, and the way it's written, this is literally how it's written, so I'm not doing a racist voice. This is how it's written, and I'm trying to do the Blaster voice, but it, like, literally, D-A is typed out. Okay. And look out and shout. Here come the cloud of another cluster bomb barrage on the old Autobot garage. Yow! Like set your enemy heater meter at coordinates 599 or Ultra Magnus. I see Insecticons nibbling and quibbling in that area. Let me lay a couple of slugs on them scrap metal bugs. Oh, vermin, let's do some squirming. I'm talking hits here, Autobuddies. Hits here with Stitch, like hard, heavy, and hello, Perceptor, what's shaking? There you go. And then Perceptor, and he's like, hey, no way, no Decepticon scramble net's gonna keep old Blaster from getting through. Cover your auditory adjusters.
So that is way more developed than the version of that I had in my script deviation. The only part I had was where it started saying, I'm talking hits here, Autobody. And he says, I'm going to lay some slugs on those overweight bugs.
I mean, it's fun. It's hard to read without it sounding
it's
racist, but it's fun.
No, I mean...
No, it's
Well, I mean, his character is meant to be that type of character.
Yeah, he's
it is what it is.
Before he
And-
was a Transformer, he was a member of Parliament Funkadelic.
That's right. Not many people know this, but Bootsy Collins is Blaster.
That's right.
That's my script deviation. Guess what, guys? We're at the end of this minute. Voice actors. Let's talk for a second about Kickback. So Kickback was voiced by the Tony and Golden Globe nominated actor Clive Revill. So this is a stage guy. He did Shakespeare in England, and also he did a lot on Broadway. He did Oliver on Broadway.
So he's a
That's what he was
Shakespearean
nominated
actor.
for. He was often cast as comic eccentric. So his TV credit, he has a lot of TV credits, but the ones that I recognize include appearances on Columbo, Murder, She Wrote. Also, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Hey.
I love it.
I don't know, look all these guys up.
In addition to Transformers, he did voice work on. Do you guys remember the Snorks?
Yes.
Were those like the
They
undersea
were the undersea Smurfs,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Oh, God.
A show called Wizards and Warriors, but also DuckTales, Tiny Toon Adventures. He was Alfred on Batman the Animated Series. Freakazoid, Johnny Bravo, and Rugrats. And guess what, motherfuckers? He's still alive.
Oh,
Yay. I'll find him. So he's kind of a Warner Brothers dude. I mean,
yeah, seems.
Yeah, well, DuckTales is a Disney adventure, but and then the other voice actor is a gentleman by the name of Buster Jones, who did Blaster. Buster Jones, American actor, musician, television host. He's started as a musician and a disc jockey, so obviously had experience in doing that
hits.
sort of Blaster voice. But probably more from like an R&B sort of like African American radio perspective. He got a gig working for what was essentially, it was a short-lived African American counterpart to American Bandstand. It was produced by Dick Clark. It was called Soul Unlimited, and it was created explicitly to compete with Soul Train. But apparently it didn't do as well as Soul Train because it did not last very long.
No.
But he was the host of that show, and additionally, he did voiceover work, so shows such as Defenders of the Earth. I didn't know this existed, but it sounds awesome. The Super Globetrotters.
Oh my god.
Yes, that sounds cool.
And also Captain
Captain
Planet.
Captain Planet.
A little trivia for you guys. This is an interesting
All right,
little thing.
lay it on us.
So, I didn't know this. Did you know that Arsenio Hall voiced Winston Zedmore on The Real Ghostbusters?
No.
That cannot be true.
It is true. Seasons 1 through 3 of the real Ghostbusters, Arsenio
Arsenio
Hall
was a voice actor.
was Winston Zedmore, but this guy, Buster Jones, took over on season 4. I don't know why Arsenio decided he was done
Because
with
he
that
was
shit, but
forming the Dog Pound.
maybe so. Dog Pound had some shit going on. But unfortunately, Buster Jones passed away in December of
Time.
2014.
March on.
I'm always really bummed out when I hear that these voice actors die.
Well, again, it's because
We all die.
Because we all die?
because of personal
Speak for yourself.
I've downloaded myself to the internet.
I'm going to live forever.
Oh, you're a Highlander.
There can only be one. I love the research you do on the voice actors. Like we can
Yes,
almost.
me too.
I think
You can leave it to me, guys.
After
Although at a certain point we're going to run out.
Well, what I'm saying
I'm
is,
worried about it.
What I'm thinking is, when we're done with this project, we almost would be. It'd be curious if what we're gonna do next, and it would be cool if we did just a voice actors podcast.
Oh, bring them in.
But
they're all dead.
We do.
They're all
EV
dead.
We
but
do.
we can
EVPs.
We can talk about
We
them.
do a spirit radio.
We can leave. I mean, we don't. We don't have to just talk about the voice actors that are in the Transformers
No, that's
movie.
it.
That's it. It's like a podcast about voice actors in the Transformers movie.
Okay, so before I
And he's moving on.
no, I like it.
We can take that offline.
Here's the thing:
fine.
Susan Blue can be our all-time always guest. She's
Yes.
alive,
Yes.
and great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
Susan Blue, you're invited to be on the
Please.
podcast.
And
now
we also
forever.
want to talk about Friday the 13th Part 7.
I thought he was going to say something bad.
Oh, why? Why?
I saw it.
You both winced. I am not offensive.
So
It's not like a listener stopped listening because of something I said.
only one, but
That
we
we
don't
know of.
care. But we don't care about you. Sorry, it'll be
Specific. Well, she'll never hear it.
This is true.
It's true. I'm just kidding. Next episode, we're going to see a transmission jammed
Yes.
and a little tape-to-tape combat.
Another blaster sound wave joint.
Wiki. In a way, it's kind of by proxy.
I guess that's true. They're like,
Before
you guys get involved.
before we do the social media shout out, you really wanted to present this
I
gift to me on
This
mic.
is the much
Because-
ballyhooed.
It's
Birthday
Aaron's
present?
birthday.
Yes, it's Aaron's birthday present, which is only a month late.
What is today? Today is
I'm so
June.
excited.
It is.
My Valvatron.
17.
My Valvatron. Well, we got another month until we lay that to rest.
And I did want to do I do want to do a shout out. I got this from TF Kingdom Sales on Etsy. There's lots of decals, Transformers, and comic decals. She does. Whoa. I don't know if it's a male or female. Lots of Thundercats, Robotech, and just other cool propaganda, like Cold War style posters of that kind of
Nice.
stuff. It's neat.
Did you get paid for this shout out? Are you doing
No,
something on the side?
I mean, I will.
Are you doing something on the side? We signed a contract.
I have.
Be quiet. Let's watch him unveil it.
Well, you
Okay.
do it. Yeah, there we
Okay,
go.
this is
So
my
it is a poster. It's on canvas.
Whoa.
It is on canvas.
Holy shit. Is this person's art?
Yes.
Or did they appropriate somebody's
No.
art?
This is as far as I know, this is 100%
That's like
art.
every
Their art.
single Transformer that's
So
ever
it's a
existed.
printed canvas, of an enormous battle. There is no negative space.
That's
It
right.
is-
It's
it
all
is-
taken up with the bots.
There are robots. It's like a Where's Waldo battle.
Your
of bots.
favorite Shockwave is
Shockwave is right over
prominently
here.
Yeah, he is.
displayed.
I
That's
assume
awesome.
they're fighting in outer space.
They
This
have to be.
is a melee.
Yeah.
Although I say it's a melee, nobody's actually fighting.
Shooting.
They're all kind of ready to go.
There's Galvatron.
Yeah, so it's got Megatron and Galvatron.
There are also different versions of each other. Like, I mean, there's I think both Hot Rod and Rodimus are in this. And then there's
Power
Metroplex
Master
right
Optimus.
there.
This is amazing. This is really nice. Everyone.
pretty
So happy
awesome.
birthday a month late.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday,
This is
Aaron.
pretty
And they were
awesome.
kind enough. The first one got lost in the mail, and they sent me a replacement with no charge.
So there's one of these floating out there
That's
somewhere.
right. There's one that someone has that's like, well, I guess I'll keep this. I mean, maybe I can wipe my ass with it.
They just hate.
And I think
nerds.
this must be. I think that's supposed to be a ghost Starscream.
No, it's Sunstorm.
Oh.
There's not a character from the
Sunstorm?
G1 universe,
Oh,
but
'cause there's Starscream
in the not the IDW, but the Dreamwave continuity, that was a
Oh,
character that
wow.
had some
So this
prevalence.
is- they're deep
I have
cuts.
read the Dreamwave series. So you got Optimus Prime here. This is, and then Power Master Optimus Prime back here. This is God Ginray, which is also sort of he's like Power Master Optimus Prime combines with another guy and it turns into this guy.
Mm-hmm.
This combines a lot of different continuities, Japanese and otherwise. In fact, Power Master Optimus Prime and this guy in the Japanese, if you were to I've not watched the whole thing, but if you were to continue to watch it. Basically, they re-resurrect Optimus Prime, but not really. They resurrect his body, but a human, probably this guy right here.
High Q?
No. That's in the Marvel Comics continuity. In the Marvel Comics continuity,
God.
Optimus Prime is back to life. It's Optimus Prime, but he needs High Q as his Power Master to stay alive. In the cartoon version, Optimus Prime, or the body that looks like Optimus Prime, that same guy is but an empty shell that is powered by a human that turns into that. So it's the same idea, but except Optimus Prime doesn't have sentience. He's just a body.
Well, because also in the comics near the end, like with the Power Masters, it's revealed that High Q not only like the personalities become combined, but when Optimus Prime's body dies, High Q is Optimus Prime. They've fused. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're the same person.
I'll get there eventually. I'm trying to get through it. I'm slogging. I shouldn't have read the British. There's
Nice,
too many episodes,
nice
too many issues.
Wrist, knuckle action,
Articulation. Ultra Magnus.
Well, this is great. This is great. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So I hope you guys enjoyed that segment.
Where you couldn't see what we were talking about.
What we're talking about.
We can see how Ryan is totally like a better friend than I am to Aaron.
I mean, I do have a gift in front of me. All right, so
yeah, we're done.
People, please listen to the show. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn. Social media. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. All of them are at APDC. And we also have our web presence at AutopodDecepticast.com. And if you're an iTunes user, please rate and subscribe. We've gotten a few raters out there.
We'll
so
even
thank
take
you.
random quotes from movies that are completely unrelated to ours.
That's right, we definitely will. And I will say that if the links that I'm talking about were like links to YouTube and stuff like that, I do put those on the websites of certain episodes. So in addition to the social media, you can always go there and see it too.
And we might as well tweet those links.
Yeah.
As well.
No, we definitely will. I'm just saying
We need some
there's
content.
a permanence
That's right.
there.
Tweet on the street, as they say.
Who says that?
I do. Fuck you guys.
All right, thanks everybody for listening.
Thank you.
Yep. Tweet on the street.